Hello there, everybody. New Master here. As a lot of people probably know, E3 is going on right now, and they just released a trailer for the new Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's probably what I was most excited about. I really wanted to see it, so I'm just going to take a few minutes here to talk about the trailer, maybe take a little in-depth look, see if there's anything that I missed, and hopefully we can see some cool things that they showed off. Now, this video might be pretty long. The first half's going to be pretty much just me going through the video, won't be stopping too much just to see like key things that were showing up, and then at the end I'm going to go back to those and do more of like my view on it and see what I think they're going to do with it. So right now, just going through. If you just want to see that part, that's fine. Maybe there are some things that you missed too that I'll point out, and then at the very end I'll go back and give a more in-depth view of each individual part that I saw. So let's just go right into it and we'll see what I see. Okay, first off, in this place, I'm assuming it's the same area where they showed at the 2.5 release event where Sora went in and there was that book paste. They think that it was Ericus's library, but we're not too sure. And then here we are, actual gameplay. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Let me first start by saying that this game just looks beautiful. And okay, I'm going to stop it right here. So I just want to point at this right now. So as of now, we can definitely tell that we're in Olympus, or a place that kind of has to resemble Olympus because of the Colosseum, the columns right there. And we have a new Heartless here. I don't know what Keyblade that is actually. Now that I look at it, I can't really tell. But let me see if I can rewind and just check if there's a better view of that Keyblade. That looks like the Olympus Keyblade. So it looks like the Keyblade they're going to give you for Olympus, because I kind of see the like sigil of the lightning bolt and everything right there. That's cool. So we get to see a new type of Keyblade. So far, before we've only seen the one, which we'll see later on in the trailer. But one to point out in this area is just how fluid the animation from basic attacks into a magic attack, which with the fire, which I thought was really cool, and I'll talk about that later, but that was really nice. So yeah, we got the new Heartless in here. Fire. And there's the other Keyblade that we've been seeing recently a lot. Another new Heartless kind of looks like Flyers. I'm going to stop it here again, right when he's jumping off. So I don't know if you guys noticed before when they were going up to this part, but it didn't seem like there was any sections of like loading. That could have just been jumping past it, of course. But from this jump, what it looks like is that all of this is connected, that there is no individual spot or place where it's like cut off, where you have to jump into a loading screen to get to the next area. It looks like it's all intertwined, all one big world, and that is really cool. That is one of the best things from this trailer that I can take from it. So I'll come back to that later, but just take that at heart, thinking like this could all be one place. Like he could be up at this tall mountain and just jump down to the other half to get to, say, another section. Like we can see the that might be the Colosseum over on the right there, but he just moves throughout the world seamlessly without any loading. That would be fantastic for each world. Let's continue. Another new Heartless, and I think this is the first view of like a first actual like old limit or just a regular limit. Cool running scene. That could just be scripted. The flow motion, really cool. Block. What is this word he's called again? Frick. Oh, let me pause it there. Pause it at his new wardrobe. But what were those called? The rides. I forget. Well, I'll remember it later on. But that was the first view of the rides again for this this trailer. But let's just look a quick look at the new outfit. New outfit looks really nice. Character design I still think looks really good. The face looks a little weird in this scene, but that just might be like just because of this scene and I have it paused like this. But I really like the new slick design, like the colors. That's really all I can say. I think they even announced that they were trying to go for a more sportier look, give it a more sleek, nice feel to it, and to like represent his how well he's good at moving now. Like his movement's much better and more fluid, and I definitely get that feeling from this. And I think it looks really well done. I'm pretty sure anything he would have made for his costume would have been fantastic, but this feels good, and I really like how he looks now. So let's continue with this. Oh, we can definitely see Tangled is in fact going to be in the game. First technically confirmed world, Disney World in the game. Oh, transformation. First transformation. We've seen this before, but it's a little bit different. And I'll when I go in my in-depth transformation for the Keyblade, I'll talk about how I feel about that. And different kind of arrow spell, kind of like a wind spell, but it's not arrow where it like comes on him. An attraction. There we go. Another attraction. We've seen that one before. The boat. I'm gonna stop it here again because okay. I don't know if you saw it. I'll try and rewind to get a good stop. Hopefully, I get a good clip of it. But he uses Blizzard, which I'm assuming it definitely looks like Blizzard, and leads up with it with a good like kind of like a flow motion railing slide type of thing. I don't know if that's scripted, but if it's more of just like once again with the fluid motion into from using basic attacks into magic or magic into basic attack, that's really cool. That is another thing that I took from this that I thought was really cool to have because I want that cool flow in motion to damage the enemies the way I want to damage them. I don't want to just stick to just using magic or just using basic attacks and not being able to combine them for a more seamless interaction. So I'll talk about that a lot later. But that was really cool. And another kind of transformation almost. He changes to the guns, but I'm not too sure. Flow motion again. And then another attraction. New attraction that we haven't seen before. And then new transformation that we haven't seen before with the Keyblade from Olympus. I'm going to pause it here before we get to the end of the next little voice part. But the fact that he had a different Keyblade out for the transformation just makes me believe that each Keyblade will probably have its own transformation ability, which is all right. Some people were speculating that it might just be ability based, but this is an all right way to go about it. But definitely, it seems at this point each Keyblade separate transformation. If you have this Keyblade, you won't be able to use the gun transformation because when you use the gun transformation, he had that other I forget what that Keyblade's called. I'm sorry. I don't know if it has an official name, but it looks like the one from Unchained. So that's one thing to take away from this. And then we get back to here. Don't know what that crystal is. Don't know if there's any importance to it. Now, I can only assume, since I haven't played Unchained, I've read a little bit of Key. I'm going to pause it here. I've read a little bit of Key, its story, but the quote that Xehanort is saying has to do with the fortunes that were told in Key. Like, Key's all about these people called the Tellers or something, I forget what they're called, where they wrote down these books of prophecy, and they predict and tell what the future's going to be, of which one of them apparently talked about the 7 lights and 13 darknesses colliding, and apparently darkness is going to prevail. That's what Xehanort believes, at least. And then, and that's pretty much the whole story behind Key. At least for my knowledge right now, that's the whole story. It's just the 4 tellers. And that's pretty much what Xehanort's been aiming towards. But this is what Ericus has to say about that. Pretty much just going against it, saying that light has the ability to overcome. Chess pieces look really cool still. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for just a quick view of the whole trailer. Hopefully you guys, there were some things that you didn't maybe notice or that you thought were really cool that I went over. But I'm now going to go back and individually look at the big things that I thought were big from this trailer. If you want to stick around, you can. You don't have to. But just want to let you know, that's pretty much it for the whole trailer. Okay, so let's go back here. First thing I thought was pretty cool was the fluid motion from using magic into combo attacks. And as you can see, like when he's using fire, he's like still moving around the map very fluently. He's not stopping, which it's very nice to do. They kind of had that in Kingdom Hearts 2, but it was more if you were moving and you cast a spell, your movement would continue. It's not so much that you could move while casting. If I was standing still and cast a magic, thunder, or blizzard, I was stuck there until the animation was done. This way it looks different. It looks like, oh, I'm casting, but I can still be moving at the same time, which is pretty cool. I like that. And also the fact that he was doing basic attacks, and then it kind of seemed, it may just be this time the animation's different or the spell's different, but it looked like he was doing basic attacks and then cast a spell, and because of the basic attacks he was doing, it did a different type of animation for that spell. So if I was doing it in the air, going Bam 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 Lightning or Bam 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 Fire, it would be different if I was doing it on the ground, in the air, when in that combo I was doing it, if I was doing it mid combo, or if I was doing it as a finisher. That's kind of what I'm taking from it, and that's what I'm hoping that they do, because I want that seamless motion of interaction for my basic attacks into my magic. That's one thing I really would want, because I like to combine my tactics so that I have my own version of like the damage that I'm doing, so I can control that. And I'm going to go to the end here where they do that again, since I can just want to keep this all together. When he uses the Blizzard into the flow motion, I believe. Yeah, right here. So when he does that, I can't tell because it moves into that little like almost cutscene-ish area where he jumps above and then shoots down at him. I can't tell if that's scripted or if it's just free motion. Up until that point when he's shooting down, I hope, or like a reaction command almost. Like I did the little thing and then it's doing this little cutscene for me where it's not so much me controlling it. I really hope that just that part where he's shooting is the only part. I hope the Blizzard into the flow motion attack isn't scripted. I hope that's more like me controlling it, like that's me going into engaging the Heartless. And once again, that just comes back to like the flow that the game would have with basic attacks and magic. I know I'm saying that a lot because that's really what I want, and I really like this trailer because it shows a lot of that. So that's pretty much that. What else did we notice? Okay, and just viewing this again, like I said, they could be cutting this section where he's jumping around, going up here, but it looks like everything's connected. I don't see. Sure, you can say there are parts where maybe, hey, that's a loading screen right there that they skipped, but you can't really tell that from this. And especially when he jumps off the cliff, it just looks like, oh, I'm just gonna keep falling until I get to the bottom type thing. I'm just gonna rewind because I want to see if he did what kind of jump he did. That looked like just a regular high jump. But so that's man, that's probably that looks really cool. If the whole world, if each world has its own big open area where there's no loading in between, you're in the world. So now to get to point A to point B, you just go there. You don't have to go like back alley. Well, maybe you have to go back alleys, but it's all seamlessly one world. That would be really, really cool. And that's what I'm like. Dream Drop Distance had it, but the world definitely felt bare, and I think a lot of people could feel that because it was on a handheld, of course. But on a console, they could do it fantastic. Even if the areas are as big as the Dream Drop Distance areas, that'd be okay, I guess. But they would have to fill it up really well and make it feel like this is one big world instead of just small, tiny sections of each world. You know what I mean? So that's what I got from this part when he jumped off, and really great thing that they could do is if the whole thing was seamless. So we saw the limits, well, the first actual limit, I guess you could say, with the Goofy charge, and then we saw the attractions, and then we saw the flow motion. So I'm going to talk about the limit and the attractions first, because people had a little issue with that. A lot of people were saying that there was too much cutscene action, or like stuff where I'm not really controlling. It's like I hit a button and now this cutscene is going to take place where I do damage. Kingdom Hearts always had these. Like limits has been in since Kingdom Hearts 1. And sure, in Kingdom Hearts 2 they had more interaction, but I also think that these ones are going to have interaction like that. Like you had the Fantasia one. Or even in Kingdom Hearts 2, like every Disney character that you went to, or every character from each world had like 2 limits that you could do, and you had special attacks when in that limit, and you had different versions of those limits. And I think that's kind of what this will be, like with the teacups. Let me get to the teacups. When he's in, it looks like he is controlling those teacups for the first part. Like so, like you do. Like it was, like you do the little basic attacks with the limit, and then at the end you do the giant attack where they come together and pretty much kill everything. That's how Kingdom Hearts limits works. I think the fact that they're just calling it attractions may confuse people, but that's all it is. They're limits. As of now, the train one, I still can't tell if that's an actual attraction where it's like, oh, I'm floating in the area and then I lock on and then I'll ram into that character type thing, or if it's just predestined for that fight, since that's the only time we've seen it is against the Titan. And the ship one's the only one I'm unsure about, if because it feels like I can't move my character, I can't do anything, I'm just kind of stuck there. But I don't know, I haven't played it yet, so it might be different. So I don't know what people were complaining about that for, because they're just limits in my opinion. So let's talk about now the flow motion. Like I said, flow motion looks pretty cool. All they did is change the color, really, to blue. But if it's as open and free as it was in Dream Drop Distance, I'll be happy. If they make it, which I'm pretty sure they're going to, they're gonna like just fine tune it, make it that much easier to control. Then I'm gonna be even happier. That's all I can really think of. That would be great. And I think that's really all they have to do to it. They just need to fine tune it, make it feel a little bit less clunky when I would like bounce on walls, make it more fluid. And that's really all this trailer, if anything, shows how fluid the game seems at this stage. And I think that's saying great things about what the final product's going to be. Now to probably my most controversial topic, the transformations. I don't know how I feel about the transformations anymore. I was really hoping that transformations were going to be not determined by the Keyblade you were using, but more as an ability slot, where I could just pick and switch or just have them on at different times, where depending on the Keyblade I was using would affect just only the appearance maybe, or maybe the basic attacks that I did. So if I had the Olympus one, maybe my attacks with the guns, well, first maybe the guns would look different a little bit and have the appearance of how they would be for the Olympus Keyblade, but then the attacks would be different. So you have this original one that they show us, I'm just going to call it Wayward because I can't think of what it's called. For some reason, Wayward's coming to my head. But you have this one where maybe this one's more like, oh, I can do a lot of basic attacks really quickly, but they do like minimal damage. While as the Olympus one, being more like from Hercules, it's less fire rate for basic attacks and more just damage. That'd be kind of cool. And I also like the idea where transformations were very situational. So if I was facing someone, a Heartless that I wanted to stay away from or that I couldn't get close to because of the type of attacks they have, I could do the gun transformation, keep it from a distance, and do damage that way. Whereas if I'm fighting, say, a Fat Body or like one of those Lion Guard Heartless, I could use maybe, say, a Rapier type transformation. We don't know all the transformations right now, but if there was a Rapier transformation where I could then use, I can do a bunch of damage behind this guy before he turns around and stops me. So pretty much my idea of transformations were drives, where each transformation would be like its own fighting style or its own little like niche thing that you can do in combat. And it doesn't seem like that's what it's going to be now. It seems much more like it's just another limit or just another, say, the one the gun uses, like the Ragnarok ability or Sonic Blade and stuff like that. It just doesn't feel like a drive, and that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for it to be a pseudo version of drive forms, so that we have that feeling of different combat when we played. And if they don't have drive forms, which we're unsure of because at 2.5 release they actually showed him in his different drive form clothes, I don't know how I feel about that, because drive forms were fantastic in Kingdom Hearts 2, and I really like that, and I really would like something similar to that in 3. But if they're going for more of this cutscene action or like the ability Sonic Blade type attacks, I don't know how I feel about that. It will be much more like Kingdom Hearts 1, which was fine, but I don't know. That's probably what I was most not upset in seeing, but like, oh, this completely changes what I thought the transformations were going to be. That being said, it's not 100%. Maybe it's pretty much it's pretty much that Keyblade. The Keyblade dictates because or they just did that for showing the other Keyblade. I don't know why they would do that though. I'm pretty sure for the fact that they actually have a new Keyblade, and when he does the transformation, it's something completely different, and it has to do with the place that he went to. The fact that it's an Olympus Keyblade, the transformation he then does is an Olympia-style transformation, just pretty much, almost for me, confirms that, oh, your Keyblade dictates your transformation. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. I already went over what Master Ericus and Master Xehanort were talking about. I'm not sure what Keyblade that is. It doesn't look like Master Xehanort's. I'm pretty sure it's not his. Maybe it's their masters. I hope we get to see who their master is, because I can't remember. Maybe that's revealed in Key. I don't know. But no, I don't think it'd be revealed in Key since that's years and years before them. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea who that is or who their master is. I hope we find out. I hope it's someone cool. But oh wait, no, they didn't get trained under again, Sid. That was only Mickey. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm looking really forward to anything else they put out. And I'll see you all later.
On that land shall darkness prevail and light expire. The future, it's already been written. Who's to say I can't change it? And maybe light will prevail. There is more to light than meets the eye. You might be surprised. Oh, I hope so.